I just finished reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. Okay, yo, it's currently Saturday night. I'm like 25% of the way done with Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. And I haven't really been recording anything because I've been reading it on my phone all weekend. I don't like reading on my phone, but I cannot put it down. I accidentally started reading it last night, Friday night, really late. And it is one of the best books as far as like starting off. Like you automatically get rushed into the book and it's really difficult to put on. I've been with my family and any chance that I get, I'm pulling it out and I'm reading it. And I don't like reading on my phone, but to have the chance to just pull it out and read a couple paragraphs, read 5 minutes, read 10 minutes, just because I cannot put it down. So again, 25% of the way done. Family's up already, making coffee. Gonna check in with everybody and make sure everything's good and then get back to some reading to hopefully maybe finish this either today or tomorrow. I want to finish it so bad because it's so good, but I'm also so sad because I know it's going to end and I don't want it to end. Okay, got a minute for the bloom? I want to catch you up. The story follows Sadie and Sam. They become childhood friends in a hospital. Sadie's sister's in the hospital. Sam is in the hospital. They meet in the hospital. They play video games, and Sam hasn't talked in a really long time, so the hospital's been worried about him, but Sadie gets him to talk. The timeline bounces forth between them as college students and them as kids and that life in between. And they are video game developers, and they've been working on a game, but the writing is so good. The only way I can explain this book is it feels like a runner's high. If you've ever experienced that or have heard people talk about that, I just can't put it down. And the story is developing so well. The writing is so delicious. There seems to be little things happening that you can feel are going to be bigger and bigger things throughout the rest of the story. I'm maybe 40% of the way done. But this book, I get the hype. It's captured my heart. Sadie and Sam, I want to meet you. I want to shake your hand. Let's keep going. So let's get into it right away. Right away, should you read this book? I think yes. I think 90% of the people would like this book. I think uh, one of the things is it's like pop literature, right? So those of you that are anti-pop, book talk, book YouTube, you're not going to like this book maybe. But for 90% of you, you are going to love this book. It's such a great read. It's so great to follow, and the way the story runs is so good. Let's get deeper into that. One of the reasons why I really like this book is because it follows two main characters. I have a problem when there's a lot of characters involved in a book. I get very confused, and that was not the case in this book. We follow, for the most part, Sadie and Sam and a couple other friends and grandparents and parents, but they come in and out, and it's easy to follow. One of the reasons a lot of people do not like this book is because the timeline jumps. It starts with them as kids, and then it goes into them like their freshman, sophomore years of college, and then they develop a video game, which is the main theme and story. And it jumps from them as kids to them in college to them as adults. But I found this a great part of the book. It made it very easy for me to follow, very entertaining. It made me want to keep reading to see what was happening, and the way that it bounces back and forth and the tension that it creates in the middle of the story. I think the author, Gabrielle Zevin, I think is how you say her name, did a great job in that. So, for example, a part of the story, they're building the video game, and that part kind of ends. There's no tension, but then it brings up and reminds a time when they were kids, and tension is brought back into the story. And the way that it did that, I loved it so freaking much. And so the timeline issue to me was not a problem. And I'm a reader that I it's very hard for me to follow timelines and a bunch of characters, and that did not happen in this book. It actually helped me. It was extra juicy in the book. There is a part in the book. It's like the big part that everybody talks about that just kind of shakes you to the core. It didn't do so for me. I don't know why, but it didn't do that for me. Again, read with caution. It does come out of nowhere. Don't want to give too many spoilers. I will say one of the things that I didn't like about the book is I feel for like 90% to 95% of the book, it's a great read. But then the ending, the last two chapters, it just feels like, I don't know, it doesn't, I feel like it didn't end well. It could have given me more. I feel like the last 5 to 10% of the book, it kind of drops off. I don't know. That's me personally. It doesn't take away from how much I really liked this book. I've never really been a big fiction reader, and so Tomorrow is such a great book to sort of start off my fiction journey. I've read a couple of the classics, I've read a couple other books, but fiction has never been a big thing that I've enjoyed. And I was honestly not scared, but the book is a little bigger, but I could not, yet again, I'm going to repeat this, put it down. And I've never really had that with other books. I get bored very easily. It takes me a while to get into it. I've kind of developed the habit of reading, so I have that to fall back on. But this was the first time I can think of in recent history in my book reading life that I could not put a book down. And so that's why I recommend this book. I texted it to my brother. He got it right away. And he texted me just the other day, dude, you were right. Can't put this book down. I was at a party last night and I love this book so much that I had to go home. Like I was dying to get back to it. And that's what it feels like. It feels like you're watching or reading through a great TV series. Now I understand it's again pop literature. This is super famous. Uh, but I loved it and I could not get enough of it. And I get the hype. The hype is worth it. Go out and read tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I would love to answer them. I got a couple more books lined up in my Kindle, ready to go. I started The Fisherman, still reading through the Stephen King short story. And my big goal this summer is to knock out at least 5 Cormac McCarthy books. So if you want to go through those with me, follow along. If you have any book recommendations, let me know. Have you read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow? Comment down below. Let's get in an argument. Let's do it.